The moment you try to be liked, you've already surrendered. Respect doesn't come from being nice. It comes from tension. If your presence doesn't rattle weak men or intimidate the fake, you're invisible. Peace earns no respect here. Pressure does. You want instant respect? Then become the one who never flinches, never smiles unless blood stains the table, and never lowers his voice except to deliver a threat. Respect isn't gained by being approachable. It's earned by being untouchable. The modern world worships likability, but Machiavelli would spit on that altar. The more likable you are, the more people feel entitled to test you, invade your space, and disrespect you. Your friendliness becomes their open door to domination. Flip the script. Be cold. Not cruel, but cold. Enter every room with the indifference of a man who needs no one. Let them feel irrelevant to your emotions. People respect what they cannot read. They fear what they cannot influence. Never laugh too soon. Never speak too fast. Never reveal enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a slave's trait. The truly powerful don't chase energy. They drain it from others. Silence makes the room uneasy. Your gaze forces corrections mid-sentence. You are not here to fit in. You are here to unsettle. This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means locking your feelings behind an impenetrable vault. Show no weakness, no whining, no oversharing, no small talk that makes you appear soft. Even your body language must mirror your inner frost. No fidgeting, no slouching. Move like a lion, not a dog seeking approval. When you speak, your voice is low, calm, deliberate. People must lean in, not out of interest, but fear of missing something they aren't meant to hear. When someone disrespects you, don't react. Respond strategically, coldly. A silence sharp enough to cut deeper than any insult. Your lack of reaction proves they hold no power over your mind. Warm men are liked. Cold men are obeyed. Want instant respect. Chill your soul. Let your energy freeze the room. Let people question whether you even feel. Because once they doubt your humanity, they stop doubting your strength. Words are cheap. Silence is expensive. Respect is earned not by speaking, but by controlling your tongue. Machiavelli knew this. The man who speaks too much exposes too much. Every word you utter is a fragment of your power handed away. The more they know, the more they manipulate. The more they hear, the more they judge. Weaponize your words. Speak less. When you do, make it lethal. The modern world rewards noise. Social media screams for attention. Likes demand validation. But attention is not respect. In fact, the louder you are, the less seriously you are taken. Kings don't shout, they whisper, and the world leans in. Here's the truth. Every time you speak, you either rise or fall in the eyes of others. Empty, emotional, or frequent words make you background noise. Rare, sharp words make you unforgettable. The man who controls the conversation, through restraint, not volume, commands the room. Silence creates tension. It makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to fill the gaps with their own insecurities. In those gaps, you gain leverage. In silence, you study who is lying, bluffing, or weak. When you finally speak, your words hit like a hammer because you've made them wait. Be unpredictable in your speech. Don't always answer questions. Don't explain yourself unless it benefits you. The need to explain is weakness, begging for understanding, which is disguised submission. When others talk too much, let them. They are building your blueprint, exposing their intentions. When it's your turn, speak in bullets, not paragraphs. Be precise, be dangerous. Speak like a man who doesn't need a second chance to make his point. When conflict arises, don't raise your voice. Lower it. The quieter you get, the more serious the situation becomes. Weak men yell because they have no control. Powerful men lower their tone, and suddenly everyone listens. Never gossip, never whine, never speak to be liked. Speak to be remembered. Speak like every word costs you power, because it does. Don't impress with knowledge. Impress with restraint. A man who holds back thoughts is feared. A man who over-explains justifies weakness. Silence isn't absence, it's dominance. When you're silent, you build mystery. You make people question your thoughts, emotions, intentions. That's control. That's respect. People fear what they can't predict. Unpredictability begins with your mouth. Speak when it hurts. Speak when it shifts the balance of power. Speak only when your words cannot be ignored. Want instant respect? Master your tongue. Make every word a blade. Cut through weakness, illusions, and people's assumptions. Be the man whose silence says more than most people's speeches. In a world of endless talking, the quiet man is the most feared and respected. Power is not always shown, it's felt. The most powerful men don't prove it. They make others feel it. You don't need insults or volume to dominate. True respect sticks through subtle psychological warfare, the cruelest tactic of all, making people feel small without saying a word. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. His philosophy wasn't about chasing power with brute force. It was about controlling perception. He knew that if people feel inferior around you, they will obey, not because you forced them, but because their own insecurity makes them shrink in your presence. So, how do you do this? First, control the atmosphere. Enter a room without rushing. Don't smile unless there's a reason. Move slowly, like time bends around you. Scan the room, not nervously, but with assessment. Let people feel you've already seen everything, and nothing impresses you. You're not there to react. You're there to be reacted to. Second, master your stillness. Most men twitch, nod, fidget, laugh nervously. They leak desperation. The man who is still commands attention. Stillness is power. It shows you are not controlled by your environment. You control it. The less you move, the more people orbit your gravity. Third, don't chase connection. Let people reach for your approval. If someone tries too hard to impress, give nothing. No compliments, no validation. Just a stare that says, I'm not easily moved. The moment you chase connection, you lose dominance. People should wonder if they are good enough for you, not the reverse. Fourth, ask difficult questions calmly, not to understand, but to expose. In one sentence, you can shatter confidence. A cold, calculated question, like, do you actually believe what you just said? Spoken without emotion, will haunt them. You don't insult. You simply hold up a mirror to their delusion and watch them crack. Fifth, withhold attention. The most brutal move isn't attack, it's ignoring. When someone expects a reaction and gets none, they implode. When someone provokes you and you act as if they're invisible, they lose power. Indifference is the highest form of psychological control. Finally, never break character. Even if disrespected, never explode. That's what they want. Maintain eye contact. Say nothing or give a chilling smirk. Let them see they haven't rattled you. They've exposed themselves. That level of control unnerves more than any outburst. Understand this. Power is not dominance through volume. It's dominance through presence. Presence is built through composure, silence, and unpredictability. Make people feel small without raising a hand or voice. They will never forget you. They will speak carefully. They will think twice before testing you. They won't know why they respect you. They just will. In the end, what matters isn't what they think of you. It's how they feel around you. If they feel insecure, exposed, or insignificant, they will treat you like a god, not an equal. Machiavelli would say, "Never ask for power. Make them feel powerless in your presence, and they'll hand it to you themselves." Disrespect is a virus. If you don't kill it instantly, it spreads. It grows in whispers, in smirks, in the boldness of cowards testing your boundaries. And if you let it slide even once, you've announced to the world, "I tolerate weakness." Machiavelli warned that rulers who allow insolence invite rebellion. Power isn't lost in one grand event. It bleeds out slowly, in the moments you fail to retaliate. The moment you're disrespected and do nothing, you become prey. It doesn't matter if it's a joke, a tone, or a look. When someone crosses the line, you cross them out. But here's the key. Don't punish with noise. Punish with silence, precision, and finality. The weak retaliate emotionally. They shout, argue, or fight to prove they're strong. But real strength doesn't need volume. It needs timing. It needs calculation. When someone shows disrespect, your response shouldn't just correct. It should kill their desire to ever try it again. Here's how the Machiavellian punishes. 1. The instant correction. Never delay. If someone disrespects you publicly, you respond then and there. Not tomorrow, not after cooling down. The longer you wait, the more acceptable it appears. The first second matters. A cold stare, a direct call-out, a refusal to engage further. Even silence can be punishment if it's laced with contempt. Do it once, make it clear, and never revisit it. The message lasts longer when delivered with brutal finality. 2. The quiet sabotage. Some enemies aren't worth confronting directly. That only gives them validation. Instead, destroy their influence in silence, ruin their credibility behind closed doors, undermine their connections, deny their opportunities, turn their allies cold. When they start crumbling and don't know why, that's your victory. A Machiavellian doesn't need credit, he needs control. Make disrespect a career-ending move and never gloat about it. 3. The strategic withdrawal. Sometimes your absence is the punishment. Cut them off. No access, no explanation, no second chance. The cruelest move you can make is erasing someone without a word. No closure, just silence. People expect noise. Give them emptiness and watch them unravel trying to understand why. 4. Punish once, never twice. Machiavelli said it best. Injuries must be done all at once. When you punish, make it absolute so they never forget. Don't keep attacking. Don't drag things out. You're not teaching a lesson. You're ending the conversation permanently. Hesitation is weakness. Repeated punishment is obsession. Deliver your blow. Walk away. 5. Make an example. The purpose of punishing disrespect isn't just handling one person. It's sending a message. Others are always watching. If you let one challenge slide, another will follow. But if you crush the first insolence ruthlessly, the rest fall in line. You don't need to destroy everyone, just one, publicly and coldly. Fear will handle the rest. Remember this. Respect isn't built through forgiveness. It's built through consequences. If you're too kind when someone crosses you, you teach the world that disrespect is cheap. But when you punish swiftly, silently, and without apology, you raise the cost. And once people understand that crossing you means war, they'll hesitate, they'll think twice, and more importantly, they'll submit. Be feared in silence. Be respected through consequence. Be the one whose name is spoken carefully. Because in a world that mocks kindness, only the ruthless walk untouched. There is no respect without fear. And there is no fear without danger. Not chaos, not rage. Controlled danger. The kind buried beneath silence. The kind that doesn't need to be spoken, but is always felt. The kind of presence that makes people think, this man could destroy me, and I wouldn't even see it coming. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He said, "It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But he didn't mean wild terror. He meant strategic intimidation, a force you rarely use, but when unleashed, it changes everything permanently. So how do you carry that aura? Here's the formula. 1. Be calm like a bomb. Stillness isn't peace, it's warning. The most dangerous men don't shout. They don't threaten. They don't explain. They exist with tension wrapped inside them like a coiled snake preparing to strike. Let your calmness make people uneasy. Let your quiet stare feel heavier than a scream. When you speak, be intentional. When you move, be slow. Make people feel like they're walking through a minefield when they're around you. You're not angry, you're ready. 2. Hint at the abyss, but never show it fully. Let them sense what you're capable of. Tell half stories. Allude to the chaos you've walked through. Mention how you prefer silence over arguments. Say things like, "I don't raise my voice, I raise the cost." Never brag, never clarify. Let your past stay a question mark. Let them wonder how deep your darkness goes. Curiosity mixed with fear is one of the strongest psychological chains you can place on someone. 3. Never reveal all your power. The moment you show your full arsenal, you become predictable. The moment you reveal every weapon, people start planning around them. Power survives through uncertainty. Always keep one layer hidden, one skill unspoken, one connection unseen, one contingency they never imagine. Let them underestimate you once, then bury them with what they never anticipated. A mysterious man is dangerous. A predictable man is prey. 4. Don't get even. Get quiet, then get unforgiving. If someone crosses you, don't chase revenge. Don't lose composure. Just disappear. But let your absence cut like a blade. Let silence turn into their paranoia. Let them wonder when the hit is coming, or worse, if it already has. Your revenge should be invisible, irreversible, and feel like bad luck. A dangerous man doesn't bark. He vanishes, strikes, and returns to his calm, like nothing happened. 5. Let others speak for you. You know what's more terrifying than threatening someone yourself? Letting your reputation do it for you. Make others tell stories about how you handled betrayal, how you stayed calm while your enemies fell apart, how your silence felt like judgment. Let whispers build your legend. You want people to say, "Don't cross him." Not because you said so, but because they've seen what happens to those who do. Understand this. The world does not respect safety. It respects danger that is under control. It respects a man who can walk through fire and not flinch, who doesn't need to scream to scare, who doesn't need to hit to hurt. That's the man who gets what he wants, not because he demands it, but because no one wants to find out what happens if they say no. So become that man. Be calm. Be quiet. Be a storm wearing a suit. Let every room feel colder when you walk in. When you carry the aura of controlled danger, respect isn't requested, it's automatic. Now it's your move. Implement these laws, or be ruled by those who already do. This world doesn't respect the kind. It respects the cold, the calm, the calculated. Power is never given. It's taken.